So on the Love is Blind reunion, the hosts gave Hannah so many chances to say sorry to Nick, and she just flat out refused. She did eventually kind of say sorry, but not really. And you know what? I can't hate her for that. Hannah is getting so much hate, but I'm sorry, I can't hate her for that. I can't, because did she lie? No, she didn't. Could her approach been better, been kinder? Absolutely. Was she mean? Absolutely. But did she lie? No. I feel like that people calling her an emotional abuser, I feel like that's just a reach. I feel like she was just mean. Like, she was giving more so like a naggy mother. And like I've said in my other reviews, I understand her frustration with Nick. Nick was a ridiculous guy who was unserious about marriage, and he was unserious about Hannah. Nick is the type of guy that will say that he's going to try at things that most human beings are capable of doing, and he's probably capable of doing himself, but it's that whole weaponized incompetence thing. And if they were to progress into a marriage, Hannah would be doing most of the labor in the marriage. They didn't even get married yet, and the resentment was brewing. Now, Hannah definitely, even though I feel like what she said about Nick was true for the most part, I do feel like she should have just cut off the relationship early. And I think she needs to take accountability for that, because the same way Nick knew he wasn't going to marry Hannah, Hannah knew she wasn't going to marry Nick for a long time before she broke off the relationship. Personally, I think she should have just said, look, you know, I could have said things a lot better, and I'm sorry for being mean. I think she could have said that just right off the bat, because she did basically kind of like give a half apology at the end. I think she should have done that, but I'm not mad at her not doing it, because I'm sorry, these man babies are out of hand. And this is how we get here, by people coddling this man baby behavior. Like, this man fully said, let me help you with dinner, and then came back to say he doesn't know how to boil pasta. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Like, let's not act like we don't know why Hannah was frustrated with this man. And then on top of that, it becomes clear in this reunion that, like I said, Nick wasn't serious, but he was also being fake. Like, his intentions were fake. He was chatting shit about Hannah behind her back. And Hannah kind of was suspicious of Nick. And I feel like that's why she went as hard as she did, because she was trying to expose him on camera, because Nick is all about his PR. And I can commend Nick on that, because he was really about his PR. And I know he wanted to cuss Hannah the fuck out, but he didn't, because he was thinking about the bigger picture. He was thinking strategically. He was thinking about his life in a year's time. And he chose not to say anything, even though he really wanted to, because he's about his bag. He's about his PR. And you know what? I can't fault him for that. So I personally think that Hannah was suspicious of Nick and thought that he was fake, didn't have concrete evidence until, you know, when she was talking about this note, and basically was trying to make him crack on camera. And when he wasn't cracking, she would go bigger. And she kept going bigger and bigger and bigger until she was like, okay, this is a lost cause. I've now wasted time making myself look crazy on TV. Let me just break up with him. And even though I feel like Hannah didn't lie, I do feel like she took way too long to break up with Nick, because the same way she knew that Nick wasn't really in love with her, wasn't really feeling her, it's the same way she wasn't feeling Nick for a very long time. So instead of spending time insulting him, berating him and criticizing him, she should have just dumped him. So I can say she needs to take accountability for that. But I can also see the petty side, as in, like, Nick kind of confirmed her suspicions, especially the fact that he was chatting shit about her. So maybe it's kind of like, why would I apologize to you when you've also been chatting shit about me, calling me a grenade? Like, why should I apologize to you? Like, you were just as mean as I was. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Would I apologize to a man, even though I was mean to him, when he had called me ugly? Actually, I scrap that. Yeah, I wouldn't have apologized either. I would have acknowledged my behavior and let bygones be bygones. But to be fair, I think that's what Nick was trying to do. But Hannah, I feel like she's hell-bent on making Nick look as bad as she does. I feel like they should have just left it at that with the non-apology. Hannah now continuing to drag Nick and trying to make Nick bad. I feel like it doesn't really play in her favor, just because I feel like what she said about Nick, A, was not a surprise, and A, was not that big of a deal, because you both were guilty. Like Marissa said, you both did things bad. Like, you both were guilty. But I guess Hannah's obviously mad that she got the villain edit and Nick got the angel edit. So she's trying to, even up the score. I don't think it worked though, Hannah. But, people hate Hannah. I don't hate Hannah. But yeah, let me know what you think about the whole situation and Hannah's apology / non-apology. Do we feel like Hannah should have apologized? Can we understand why she kind of didn't want to, considering the fact that Nick was also chatting shit about her, calling her ugly behind her back, etc.? Let me know what you guys think. And do we feel like, regardless of Nick maybe not finding her attractive or Nick not having genuine intentions of being on the show, does that mean that Hannah can now get away with talking to him in that manner? Do we feel it's justified? Let me know what you guys think.